Alright guys, it is Tuesday morning, 6:02 to be exact. I'm meeting Father Wisdom right here. He's already been up here. He was up here last night. He's staying at the wall tent. I'm about halfway to where the wall tent is. There's a spot that we've been wanting to check out since just after the archery hunt. So he's meeting me here. We're probably going to hop on the four-wheeler. Hopefully we can turn up a decent buck. I'm not going to be super picky. I'm not going for world records here. But I would like a mature buck for sure. Because there's always the extended archery that I can hunt as well as like a last desperation. But I got up here really quick though. I thought for sure it would take me about an hour, and it took me about 40 minutes. So I still have 30 minutes, well 25 minutes before Father Wisdom's supposed to be here. So I'm just gonna make sure my stuff's ready and we're gonna rock and roll.
What's that?
Did the wood burning stove work?
Too lazy.
All right, got the backpacks loaded up. Gonna head up to the spot and hopefully get lucky. We glassed pretty big canyon behind us for a little bit. Glassed a little bit of this lower stuff in front of us. Haven't turned anything up. There were a couple shots to the west of us, and sounds like one back down towards the road, and then one over here. So wind's howling. It's fairly chilly, but I think we'll get a game plan. We'll get a game plan to go somewhere and try to find something. There is a spot over here I've wanted to check pretty bad, so maybe we'll go check that and find somewhere to glass. Got to get behind the glass. I think that's where we're gonna be most productive, if we can find somewhere out of the wind to glass. I think that's the key.
Yeah, the front of the truck. We'll do some serious road hunt.
Yeah. Okay.
Next time you see us, we'll be bloody.
Here's the future. Woo! It is chilly. Just got back to the truck. Not the most eventful day. After we glassed that spot this morning, turned nothing up. Wind was howling. We decided to go right around to see what we could see, and we actually saw, just a beautiful little loiny buck, teeny body, up. Beautiful little antlers. And saw a doe with triplets, a doe with twins, another doe with twins. Glassed an area for a little bit, turned nothing up. We ended up going over to an area I've been wanting to hunt since the archery hunt, actually, and got there. Looks awesome. Glassed most of the afternoon trying to turn something up in the shadows, bedded. Didn't find anything, and then in the evening, Father Wisdom actually turned up a herd of elk. It was about 12 cows and calves up high, and then about 1,500 yards away, I found 3 or 4 does that were out feeding. So I got excited thinking things were coming out, and it just is such a good looking spot. But glassed until about 30 minutes till sunset and nothing. And I wanted to walk around the ridge line a little bit and glass into other little finger canyons and stuff. So I did that and nothing. So we decided to start headed back to the truck a little bit earlier than we normally would, just because we've seen more deer on the four-wheeler from the road than we have glassing, which is crazy. Usually glassing is like the only way we hunt, because you can cover so much country and usually see a lot of animals, but slim pickings. So I'm going to call the family, check in with them, and then head to camp. Father Wisdom's headed back already. He said he was going to get fire started and start going on some pulled pork sandwiches, I think is what we're having. So I will see you at camp. Woo! Smells good, looks good. All right, guys. Good morning. Day 2. Just getting up, getting ready to go. About 5:30. We're gonna roll out. We're gonna go see what we can find, and hopefully something takes a dirt nap, but we'll find out. Got a several mile cold ride ahead of us. Should be fun. Spot that we've come many times before, where we can glass a lot. We've seen historically the most big bucks here, but it's been a while, so hopefully we can turn something up. Just gotta get behind the glass and get lucky. Alright, we've been glassing for a couple hours. Seen about 5 bucks, 12 or so does, and elk everywhere. Big old herd of elk over here. Herd of elk came out from underneath us. Cows mewing all over the place. Couple raghorns over there. No big bulls. And as of the bucks, there's one that if they were not 2 miles away I might shoot, but they're all, man, it feels like you gotta really lower your standards nowadays if you want something, but maybe not, you know, maybe we're just in the wrong spot at the wrong time. But we can't see the backside of this one ridge, and a lot of the nicer bucks I've seen have been on that backside. So we're gonna keep glassing, see if we can't turn something up worth going after or shooting. And then we'll have to make a game plan from there. Ready to go?
It's time to get bloody. Big buck.
All right, so we actually ended up seeing a decent amount. I tried to watch those 1 bucks for a while. Once they went into the shade and into the oak brush, they were pretty hard to see, but we're gonna bail off this mountain and follow this ridge line in front of us, looking into all these side canyons. Like I mentioned, on the far side of the ridge that we currently can't see is where we've seen a decent amount of bucks, and I know there have been some good bucks back there. It's pretty huntable, and we're just gonna go hunt, put some miles on the old boots, and hopefully turn something up. I'm gonna be putting this camera in my backpack, and I'll be using the GoPro while we hike so that I'm more mobile to shoot if we bump something. And then when we get to various spots, or if we get something, I'll pull this one back out, but it'll be GoPro footage from here until it's not. Got over here to a canyon that holds a dear place in our hearts. Lots of fun memories in this canyon. Super cool canyon. Used to produce some decent bucks every now and then. There's nothing in here now, but I had to shed some layers. I had to get my thermals off, and this morning there were a ton of elk here behind us, and I can hear them bugling here over the ridge, so pretty sure we'll run into those. But we're gonna get on top of the ridge and just check all those fingers as we go, and hopefully kick up a big 2-point or something. Get some winter meat. Been glassing for a little bit. I've got a doe and a fawn bedded down over where those deer were, but I haven't been able to turn up any of the bucks. Those elk that we bumped into are right over here. I think they're bedded down, bugling quite a bit. So those bucks and the does that were with them could be gone when these elk came in here. But the fact that there is a doe and a fawn over there bedded, I have hope that they're still in here. So I'm just gonna keep glassing those shadows, looking for anything, and hopefully we can turn them up. Alright, one of the bucks is up with the doe feeding. He's just kind of following her around. He's a 4-point, about as wide as his ears. Crabby in the back. Okay, in the front, he's not huge. But, you know, desperate times call for desperate measures. So, I want to get a look at the other buck that's in here. Because one of them was for sure bigger than the other. And then we'll make a decision. But they're in here, which is good. When we originally saw them, we were about 2,000 yards away. And we're about 580, I think, right here. So we've got the distance quite a bit. Should be able to tell what they are a lot easier. And then we'll see. I don't know. Alright, we found the other buck. He finally got up. I think the one... So the first buck that we found, he's bedded and asleep, like head on the ground asleep. The other buck's up feeding, and I think the first one's a little bit bigger. The first one's about as wide as his ears. Decent forks. This one has okay forks, but he's probably, I don't know, he's a lot narrower. And I don't think he has as much mass. So the one bedded is probably the better option of the two, but I'm glad we found that other one to make it a for sure thing. Now it's just decisions. Lots of decisions. All right. After glassing him for a while, debating in my head, talking to Father Wisdom, texting several people, I think I'm gonna pass on this buck. He's just got himself in an area that I don't think makes it worth it. He's not the biggest buck in the world. But if he was in a different spot, I'd probably shoot him. It's just we're 2.5 miles from the four-wheeler, and where he's at is on a decently steep, half-melted snow, pure mud ridge, 632 yards away from where we're at right now. So it would take a good amount of effort to get over to him, even if we got him, and then to get him out. I feel like there's a chance, a possibility in a couple other locations of getting a buck as good as him, and hopefully better. But we're going to get packed up and hunt back to the four-wheeler, and then go back down to the lower country for this evening and see if we can't find anything down there. And who knows? See if we can't get lucky. All right, we made it back to camp a little early just so that we could get Father Wisdom packed up with a lot of his gear. I'm leaving my bedroll, he's leaving his, in case we come back Thursday night. We'll stay here. If we stay Friday, because we haven't got anything, then we'll probably stay here too. And then next week we'll tear the wall tent down. But close. Saw some elk, which was awesome. Lots of elk. Saw some bucks, which was awesome. Had the opportunity if I wanted to take it, which is also awesome. Which was actually a little harder of a decision for me, just because this is my 3rd year of dedicated hunter, and this is the first year where on the archery hunt and on the rifle hunt I've found bucks that I'd be willing to go after that were like around that 170 class. This buck was a little smaller, but again, I only have a few more days and then it's up, and I haven't got a deer in 3 years, so I would like to get it done, but still have a couple days towards the end of the week. Hopefully we can do it. Let's go. All right, guys. It is Friday morning. I'm just leaving my casa to meet Father Wisdom. We're gonna head up to the same spot we were in the last time I left you, because that was the spot we saw the most deer and saw the most bucks. So it also has historically been the best spot for a good buck. So we're gonna go hit it again and see if we can't get lucky. I am going to fast track you guys to the top of the mountain right now. All right, guys, what's up? Well, we have been up here for a few hours. We've been glassing since the crack of light and have actually seen a ton of deer, just no bucks that we'd want to go after. Some elk in multiple locations, tons of does, a couple small bucks, about 4 small bucks. But with no better options in mind, we're gonna hike over into where we were last time, where we saw that buck, and possibly beyond, and see if we can't turn something up. Just keep glassing, keep looking, get some boots on the ground, cover some country, look into some canyons we haven't looked into, and hopefully be able to turn something up. So I'm gonna throw the packs on, bell off, and get going. All right, we've hiked to this point. We can see a lot of the canyons we can't see in that previous spot. It's the backside, so we're gonna sit here for a while and glass as much as we can, see if we can't find something bedded, and then we'll continue down this ridge, just glassing into canyons, seeing what we can't turn up. But hopefully we can turn something up, baby. Let's go.
All right, I didn't know it at the time, but the mic on the camera actually stopped working. I'm pretty excited here because I just found a buck who was originally bedded. This is the buck. He's a mile away, line of sight a mile away, but to get into a position to do anything was about 2 miles. He was originally bedded behind that tree stump. He wasn't bedded very long after I found him before he got up and started feeding, and he ended up feeding over and bedding in this scrub oak, which if I hadn't seen him bed there, I would have never found him. He blended in so well. And then he got up about 30 minutes later after he bedded down there and started feeding. It's close to 5:30 at this time, and it was about a 1.5 mile hike to get into a position to where I could shoot at him, probably a 450, 500 yard shot, and then to get him out would be quite the ordeal. And with it getting dark soon, we decided we'd just watch him till dark and see if we had a better opportunity if we came back the next day. But also this evening, I ended up glassing the canyon that we went to the day before where we saw those 2 bucks, and I ended up passing on that bedded buck. And we found them again coming out of the downfall timber, kind of out in the open. They were both together. Originally, I was looking at that bottom buck. He was the one bedded. I had disregarded the top buck because he's really narrow. But the more we looked at him this day, the more I realized he may be the better of the 2. That bottom buck actually has a tripod in the front. His main beam dips down really low and comes in, which is super cool. I didn't notice that as closely the first day I was glassing. I knew something was going on, but didn't pick up on that. The buck on top there is actually a better buck than I initially thought. He is really narrow, but he's He's got great tine length. His forks are really good. Decent mass. He's not a super old buck, but he's getting more mature. I love that frame. I love those forks. And I was kind of bummed out actually watching and filming these bucks, knowing that I had passed on them, or we had found them and hadn't made a quick enough decision to move in on them. So we decided that we were just going to watch them again. It was only about an hour before dark, and we were just going to watch them. My gut feeling told me, though, we may have messed up because they were feeding down the canyon like they were wanting to leave it. And there hadn't been any pressure in this canyon, but maybe they just have a rotation that they're on. And so watching them, filming them leave was a bit frustrating. I was hoping they would be back tomorrow on Saturday. That's when we're coming back. If we can find any of these 3 bucks, we're going to go quickly, get in position, and try to get one down. So the plan is to come back tomorrow, Saturday morning, find one of these bucks, and hopefully get it done.
All right, guys. Saturday. We're back. Same spot. Looking for bucks. If we find any of those 3 that we've seen, or better, we're going after it. No hesitation, we're going after it. We're slinging lead. That's the goal. But I haven't seen any of the 3 bucks, or I mean, I'd be okay if we found a bigger one, you know, but I haven't found one yet, so gonna get behind the glass and hopefully find something. All right, update. Found a buck here below us bedded. Good 4-point, good tines. When he was bedded, though, he didn't look as big as when he got up. But unfortunately, when he got up, and he went a ways and over the ridge. So not sure where he ended up. Right now, we're going to go over one canyon to see if we can't glass up those other 2 bucks. See if they're lower in the canyon or if we can find them. And then we'll go from there. That's the game plan right now. Just get everything loaded up in the packs. Go over and see if we can't turn up those other bucks. So hopefully we can do so. Oh, and if the audio got weird, it's because the cord for my mic is not, it's got something wrong with it. So it's not connecting to the good mic. So I'm using the audio from the camera or the GoPro, whichever one sounds best is the one we're gonna go with. Okay, let's get over there. All right, so we made it into this canyon. We've been glassing for quite a while. I found a set of 3 does down lower bedded, and then Father Wisdom found a group of 6 coming in to this area close to the ridge line, just down off the ridge line a little ways, and they came in across and then dropped down. They were feeding around for a while, and while they were feeding around, those other does got up and they were feeding around for a while, and we glassed and glassed and glassed all over. Can't turn either of those bucks up. So last night, the way they were moving and moving out, I just got the feeling that they might be going to a different spot, which doesn't make a ton of sense. There hasn't been any pressure in here except for us. I don't think they even know that we've been here. There's feed, there's water, so they must just be doing what deer do. but we haven't been able to turn them up. So our current game plan is pack up, go back to where we were glassing this morning, and glass where we saw that decent buck bedded. Glass it really well, make sure he didn't move back into there and bed down. If we can't turn him up, Father Wisdom's going to go to the four-wheeler, and I'm going to go down a couple canyons and then take a ridge down to where I can look in to where that buck went this morning. I'm assuming it's a north-facing slope, so I'm assuming he's bedded on that side, and hopefully I can turn him up. Father Wisdom will bring the wheeler around and we'll meet up over there somewhere. If I can find him, we're gonna let the lead fly. Okay, let's go find that deer. Alright, I made it down to where I wanted to be, and I can actually see really well. I can't see into the side he went to as good as I was hoping, but I can see into it good enough. I'm just hoping within the next 30 minutes or so he gets up and starts feeding, that he's still in here. I'm hoping he's still in here. I've glassed a lot already before I turned the camera on, and I haven't been able to turn him up, so I haven't turned anything up. So I'm really hoping he's in here, or that before it gets dark he comes back in here. The irony is, another hunter passed underneath Father Wisdom and I while we were glassing, and he went a canyon further than we did today, and I just heard a gunshot about 5 minutes ago, so that's how it goes. That's how it goes with us. But I have no idea what he's shot at. It could be a 2-point. It could be a 230-inch deer. I don't know. All I do know is I can glass really well, and I can see him coming back in here in the evening in this area. I'm hoping he just moved off, grabbed a drink, and came and bed down somewhere in here. And I just haven't found him yet, but fingers crossed that he or a good buck moves into this spot before it's dark. I really need a deer. I actually did the math because of archery hunting. Because I got into archery hunting, and also because of the very low deer numbers on this unit. It's starting to come back, which is exciting. I haven't killed a mule deer, in 10 years. I'm due. I am picky, but the past few years there have been almost no bucks. I have been able to find almost no bucks, and if I find one, it's just a dink. So, come on, baby. Alright, hopefully the next time this turns on, I found him. Alright, folks. Gosh dang it. Been glassing for a while now. We got about 30 minutes till sunset. I found a small 3-point chasing a doe up here above me. And then the last time I saw him, he was by himself, so I don't know where that doe went, but I'm sure she was somewhere near him. The bigger guy has not stepped out yet. There's still time. But I do have to get down off this mountain. I would prefer not to do it in the complete dark, so I'm gonna glass for a little while longer, and then I'm just gonna glass, work my way off this mountain towards Father Wisdom. Father Wisdom's over there on the point, or this knob down below me, glassing up in as well, so I haven't heard anything from him as far as anything that he's seen. But I'm gonna glass for a little while longer, and then pack things up
it doesn't. And that's probably statistically more likely for most of us, is that it ends with tack soup. But still have the extended archery as well. And if it doesn't work out today, we still have the extended archery, so we'll give that a whirl. But hopefully it works out. Hopefully he steps out. We still got plenty of time. Plenty of time for it to happen. I just was hoping to glass him up a little bit sooner. That's it.
Well, folks, it didn't happen. I ended up not seeing anything other than that little 3-point, and I've been kicking myself ever since, not taking that opportunity that I had, Thursday, and even Friday evening to get those bucks. But we do still have the extended archery, so we'll be hitting that as hard as we can with the time that we have. But I also want to inform you guys that Black Friday, Cyber Monday is right around the corner, and Canvas Cutter is going to be having some incredible deals. So keep an eye out for that, and hopefully we can get it done during the extended archery as far as fill in a deer tag. But until then, keep on keeping on.